Hello and welcome to session 3 of Tachyon Squadron Above and Beyond. And this is our session following another battle last time where our crew dealt with a set of pirates and then discovered essentially a transport vessel that had been cracked open, raided, and abandoned. It was hovering there in the space lanes and had been there for quite a while. They also got a sense there were some other ships that were moving off and away. They returned back to inform the Tachyon station of what had occurred, and people were sent out to get the ship that had been abandoned and check and try to determine what they could from that. And that's kind of where we left off. Before we get too much further, my name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming club / community. We do a lot of games every month, and we can be found at gauntlet-rpg.com. And there's lots of information there, including links to things like our various podcasts, the blog, as well as the various YouTube videos, of which this is just a tiny, tiny fraction of the material that goes up there. So last time, at the start of the session, before the squad could kind of get ready to go off, Caden Anders, one of the top brass, came down and pulled you off the line to do something. What do you think that was? Like, what happened with regarding your sort of upbringing and lineage and so on, or personal situation happened that got you pulled off from your team for a while?
I think that I got pulled off for a debrief. I think that Caden is whatever the equivalent of internal affairs is within Tachyon Squadron. He is expected to keep an eye on his squad mates, keep them in line, and if there's anything that might have gotten them out of line, he's supposed to report on it, which ties back into Butterfly letting that fighter get away.
And you are left cooling your heels for a while. Like, you get to take your downtime, rest and recover and all of that kind of thing. But there's a lot of sort of sitting on that makes you wait around. And then eventually one of the ISB, Internal Security Bureau people, comes in after a couple of shifts that you've been cooling your heels, which I need you to make a discipline roll right now before we go much further to clear out your stress from the mission.
Okay, I'm pretty good at discipline.
Yeah, difficulty is 2.
Okay.
So there's almost no chance you could fail.
So I got a 5.
Okay, so you're all clear. In fact, you will remove all your stress, and you're going to have a boost, which means on the next roll that you do, you're going to have a +1 to it.
Okay.
The ISB person comes in. You can tell they're ISB. What is it that tells you?
I think think of the meme of Steve Buscemi dressed up as a 90s kid.
Okay.
Saying like, hello, fellow kids. It's this like overly friendly, trying to just be one of the guys that feels so put on.
I am so sorry, Mr. Anders. I apologize for this. When I heard that they had grounded you and while your team was going out, I came down as fast as I could. I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that that's as fast as you can.
Little chaos. There's a lot of things we're trying to figure out here. I've just got a few questions for you, and then I can let you go. get back to the business, out there defending Draconis.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll see if I have a few answers.
so we are looking into, as you know, that explosion that occurred on the flight deck. That happened there, and this is on the quiet, so I ask that you not share this with anyone outside this room. We have determined that it was deliberate act of sabotage. It was a bombing.
That's concerning. Do you have any suspects at this point?
We're working on a lot of angles right now. I do have a couple of questions about some people in your unit, just to kind of clarify some things. We're trying to put a couple of pieces together. You have a young woman in your team, call sign Butterfly.
Yeah, we do.
I understand that she has sort of an unusual way of decompressing.
How do you mean?
Well, most people go relax, spend time, sleeping or recovering, blowing off steam. She goes down and she's working in the loading areas, in the tech areas. She's talking to the tech people. She's talking to the loading people. She's working on the flight bays. She's doing that all the time.
Sounds to me like she takes a lot of pride in her work. What of it?
I'm just clarifying it, just to kind of checking to make sure. I know this, and I'll say this just so you're aware of the situation. I know that she had a talking to before she left on this most recent flight from Commander Maruyama.
Well, this is news to me. I've been
I
here
know.
waiting for you to
That's
arrive.
what I'm telling you. Maruyama was concerned that Butterfly did not take the shot to finish off a target during your last flight run.
Now, some of these enemy fighters are more maneuverable than we've been led to believe in our briefings.
And certainly that was my initial thought, but it's clear from the discussion between Maruyama and Butterfly that Elsie deliberately chose not to take the shot.
Well, I don't know anything about that. And my whole squadron.
Oh, so that's a
my full
surprise to you.
confidence.
That's a surprise to you that she didn't take the shot.
I haven't had a chance to debrief with her since we landed again.
Interesting. Okay. I'd just like you to maybe keep an eye out for her, especially she's having some things. I know I certainly don't believe it, but certainly her name has come up in connection with this sabotage, as she's been in the areas that the bomb was planted. There's some question about the correspondence of time. And then we have her not taking a shot. You can see why we might have some concerns, right?
Oh, I have full confidence in the loyalty of my whole squad, but I'll check in with Elsie.
Okay, that's all I can ask. I mean, I don't think that she's the saboteur who killed all those people, but we have to have an abundance of caution.
Of course.
All right. I know that your team is coming back from their mission, so I'll let you go.
Thank you, sir.
Let's come back to our team. I think once again, Elsie, you didn't. You kind of stayed above the fray and didn't get hit, so you don't have any stress to clear when the ships come in. But I believe that Katya and Ezekiel both took a single hit. So I will need both of you to roll for a discipline roll versus difficulty 1. Let's start with you, Katya.
I'm just having trouble highlighting. Here we go.
Oh, sure. I should probably open the roller as well.
Let me just reload.
So I hit 2, so that'll clear my 1 stress.
Okay, yeah, so you've got that cleared out. You're in good shape.
And I also have 2. So I'm good.
Okay. You both are good. So you'll land. There's another fighter team and a couple of tech transports that will check in with you about what you heard, like what you saw there on the Neptune star, what details you had, and they'll take that down and they'll say, okay, we're heading out there. We're going to get birds in the air right now, and we'll see what we can do about getting that pulled back into a lane where we can get that examined. But your team is off duty now. And Elsie, Katya, Ezekiel, you'll see Caden kind of coming down the flight elevator to meet with you. He is dressed as he was when you last saw him.
Look who finally decided to show up.
Oh. It's a long story. I could really use a shower, Katya.
Have a nice nap or whatever it was that they wanted you to do.
It's a little uncomfortable trying to nap in the steel chairs that they wait for debriefing in.
Between you and me, I'd rather have been in the pilot's couch getting shot at.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
more relaxing.
Yeah, you do stink. We can talk more when you're cleaned up.
And so what we do here is we have our 2 off-duty actions between missions to remind you. If you still had stress, there are a couple of ways to recover from it, but none of you have to work on it. You can fix your ship. I don't think anybody has any structural damage to worry about. Once again, you can go shopping, trying to get more gear or whatnot. You can nose around looking for stuff. Could visit a doctor if you had injuries. Could go and just talk to people. And of course, you can sleep. You need to sleep one of the 2 actions. Otherwise, there's a chance that you're going to run into exhaustion when you go out there onto the field. So, Zeus, I'm going to start with you. What do you want to do for your first action?
First action, I think I want to go shopping.
Okay. And what do you want to hunt for?
Now that we saw it and had a capital ship, well, a sub-capital ship, a corvette on the sensor radar, I want to try to find either more rocket packs or something else firepower wise that will help us make a dent against a capital ship.
Okay. What like are you looking for something particular? We've got most of the things are available in your loadouts there.
Because I think I've got 1 rocket pack on my ship, and that leaves us with 3. But I'm trying to get us up to where, if we have to, everybody can take, a pair of rocket packs. So that's 2, 4, 6. But Butterfly probably won't take them those. So, yeah, so I need to get up to 6. So
Okay. Then let's who do you think you go to try and wheedle this?
I think it's just going to be another a scene of Zeus going to a card game with the techs, and that's going to lead to a long night of drinking and at least 3 or 4 different trades of various types that eventually leads to getting the extra rocket packs. And the money spent probably pretty much represents him losing while gambling if he has to spend any money.
All right. Let's I think I'm going to have you roll. I'm going to have investigate for this. I think this is kind of a cutting between a couple of things here.
Okay. No, hey,
Reset. Everybody reset your fate points back up to equal to your refresh.
Okay, so rolling investigate, and it's a flat roll, so I get a 2.
2. I think there is a bit where you're kind of asking around, and they're like, "Okay, you guys still got loadout that you haven't even used. You need more rockets."
Yes, always more rockets.
I mean, I could get you another set. Take you up to 5. I can drop that in your loadout.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. What were you more interested in? Did you need a stereo system, or did you need a space heater for your plane?
The space heater.
Okay,
It's
no
got
problem.
an Atmo recycling unit that is
Yeah.
out.
I've got one that was just refurbished, almost brand new.
Good. Yeah, and I think you can tick your unguided rocket volleys up to 5 for possible distribution. So Vince, below on the ships page, below in fact, your ship, you'll see we've got a list of equipment that is available to loadouts. Anything that has a asterisk by it is expendable, meaning when you use it, it's gone.
Okay.
And anything that has a 2 by it means it takes both of your slots. All of your ships have 2 slots for working with that. Before I get too much further, because we're at the midpoint, I'm going to give you all an advancement. You may either take a new stunt, or you can raise both a 0 to a 1 and a 1 to a 2. So it's either or. You either take a stunt or you get those 2 raises. Katya, what do you want to do for that first segment here, the first action of the 2 you get between missions?
Well, I do want to buy a butterfly beer, but that can wait. It doesn't have to take up so much time.
Yeah, we'll do some NPC calling or NPC calling
That's
after
fine.
we do the missions, the actions.
I'm curious about the new arrival here, or one of them anyway.
All
Most
right.
important one. Someone I've read about but never met, and I'd like to meet her.
Okay.
Codename Whisper.
Absolutely. I don't think that's too hard for you to make that arrangement. Where do you want to cross paths?
She's got nerve damage. Yes. Is it gross damage or is it fine?
What
Does she
you've
do
heard?
Does she do hand-to-hand combat?
You're not sure. She certainly hasn't demonstrated. What you've heard is that she took some damage that has affected some of her balance functions when she's actually flying.
When she's flying. I'm going to sit in at the back of one of her classes.
Absolutely.
I'm
And
just gonna stroll in and park myself in a back chair and watch her. Look at check out her style.
she is not the greatest instructor. She knows what she's talking about, but there's a difference between knowing what you're talking about and being able to get that across. Trainers learn how to do that. She's trying to get across the kinds of things that you know, the kinds of instinct and like reactions that people need to have when they're going into the simulators. And you can see she's trying to adjust, but she also getting kind of frustrated. When they go to the simulator runs and people are making the same rookie mistakes, the ones that she was just talking about, and you can see here's a person who has had a couple of discussions with people telling her to try and calm down about this.
Does she yell at one of the cadets?
She doesn't yell. She's going to yell, and then she clearly has yelled before. She's been told not to, and she kind of stops them, and she takes the sim off of them, and she kind of leans down, and you hear her say, "You are dead, and all of your friends are dead. Leave my classroom and come back tomorrow, and we're going to try this again, and hopefully you're not going to kill everyone around you." She says it in that kind of dead calm that is terrifying.
When she looks up, I am silently applauding in the back. They don't make a sound, they don't disrupt anything, but she can see me doing it.
Eventually, the class will break up, and she will walk over to where you are, and she will say, "Domanova."
Larrabee. Didn't know I was a known quantity where you came from.
I got a briefing when I arrived on station, and certainly your name has been on the lips of a number of people, for better or worse.
Mostly worse. They're all idiots, aren't they?
It depends on who you're talking about, but generally, yes.
It's better to treat them as idiots than perhaps a few of them will survive. Do you have time for a drink?
Sure. And, we cut to the bar. You will notice that she doesn't get alcohol. But she just sit down with you to talk. What's your tactic? What's your small talk here?
Is her disability obvious?
I don't think so.
Okay. So my initial thing is I don't what are you, my initial thing is, what is someone like you doing here?
She stops.
Said with a smile and a head shake of disbelief.
She says, "I think you know why I'm here. You're not stupid. You've clearly looked around and asked. It's medical leave. You know that."
I know that, but they couldn't find a better use for your talents, really. I mean, don't get me wrong. The cadets here are fortunate to have you. They're unbelievably lucky to have you.
Let me have you roll rapport.
Not my best skill. That's a flat roll. What's my rapport? It's not very good.
It's a 1.
Yeah.
She looks and she says, I can't fly anymore. And it's not clear to the doctors whether I'll ever be able to fly again. They offered implants, but that's at least a year worth of work and therapy, so on, and
no guarantees. Yeah.
no guarantees. And I didn't want to do that. And I'm not a tactician. I'm not a planner, and I'm certainly not going to go out and try and recruit new people. So this is the task they put me to.
Well, I suppose we each have to do our bit for the war effort. I say, and the brass and their infinite wisdom will provide. But you did more for Draconis than any 10 people I can name.
And she looks at you and her eyes kind of go cold, and she goes, yes, I know. And
Look,
this
what do
is
you
where
want?
I'm at now.
Yes, right. All right. Let's cut this shit. I'm not here to remind you of past glories, or to flatter you, or to put salt in your wounds, or anything. I want to know. But you deserve some payback. Is there anything we can do for you?
And she'll stand up and she'll say, thank you for the drink.
Fine. Walk out of here as if you didn't give a shit, or turn around and sit down and have an actual conversation. And that's a provoke.
Okay. So you're trying to instill a negative reaction in her. You're trying to, I mean, this isn't provoke in the sense of like masks where you're, but I mean, you're trying to really get her angry. It's what you're trying to do here is.
I'm trying to get her angry into cracking her shell.
Okay, let's have you roll.
Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
All right. Because if I were her, I wouldn't want to talk about any of this shit either. But I'm not satisfied with that. That's a 3 or a 5 if my stunt applies.
Well, what are you trying to do? Like what's your goal here?
I'm trying to get her to reveal something about herself that I don't know. So I guess it's a 5. So that's what my stunt is about.
I think that you can see the survivor's remorse on her. I think you can see that. And I think you see that look on her face, and she will leave, but you can see that it's more than just the injury. It's more than just the position here. It's whatever happened was even bigger than that. And that certainly hasn't been dealt with.
Fuck.
Elsie, what do you want to do for your first action?
Does this base have any kind of chapel?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
What kind of faith do you think? I mean, is this a place that has a multi-denominational faith? Is there a Church of Convergent Science? Is there what do you imagine there is? And certainly, what do you imagine there is for you?
Considering that they call for volunteers, I suspect it has to be some sort of either non-denominational or interdenominational chapel,
Okay.
which probably doesn't have a whole lot of symbols around it, which suits me fine.
Yeah, there's probably a therapist pastor on screen, but there's also probably when you go in, you can punch up on the board for a particular services or particular faiths, things like that. It's set to cater to a lot of people and to do it in the most generic way possible.
So I want to chat with this therapist pastor.
Absolutely. His name is Chuck. And have you been down here before?
I don't think so. At least in part because I'm not sure that they'll have information or know what to do with the particular sect, the particular religion the faith that I profess.
So he stands up when he comes in. You see his eyes go up as whatever HUD he has kind of pulls up your name and so on. And maybe he blinks a minute while he's trying to get that. And he'll say, Lieutenant Lucas.
Call me Elsie.
Elsie, come in, and sit down.
I'll look around and say, doesn't look like you get a lot of traffic down here.
When things go bad, we get a lot of traffic, and there are a few holy times, the Friday, Saturday, Sundays where we get more people. But midweek like this, not so many. You're right about that. Can I get you something to drink, to eat?
No, I've just been struggling lately.
Pours himself a cup of coffee, sits down. Do you want to talk about it? That we've come down here, or do you need to meditate? How can I help you?
What do you know about the Society of Friends? A lot of people call us Quakers.
I'm familiar with that. I admit to be surprised that a Quaker would be in an active military unit.
Yeah, so am I. I guess we find our own paths to holiness, don't we?
We do. Are you finding that if you're feeling a conflict between that identity and the one you're wearing now?
I had an uncle, and he'd take me to meetings. He'd sit there quietly unless somebody felt called upon to speak. And he really shaped the way that I saw the world. So it's hard for me to do what other people may think is necessary. The mission before last, there was a damaged fighter and lined up, just easy shot. I patched into his comms and told him to get out of here. If he'd been bearing down on one of the other fighters in the squadron, I wouldn't have hesitated, but got called in by the XO.
Mhm.
Tried to put it in terms of tactics and how it takes more to fix something than it does to get a new one. And
But
yeah, but
you knew your upbringing. Why did you decide to be a combat pilot?
because with flight scores like mine, they don't put you in a transport.
That's not taking responsibility. That's putting the weight of this decision on others. Why did you decide and let yourself become a combat pilot?
Because I thought I could save lives. And I'm finding out that a lot of people around here think the way to save lives is by taking others, which, you know, is what you'd expect. I mean, this is a military unit.
Mhm.
I just, I feel like I made a mistake that I can't undo.
In any number of wars, the Quakers and other orders that have been pacifists have offered valuable roles, have offered important work, have resisted. They have become legends of bravery and sacrifice without taking lives, putting themselves up there. The problem is that you've chosen a role that is always going to be testing that for you. At some point, you have to decide whether being a combat pilot as you are, and with people putting the pressures they are on you, is better than choosing another role here within the fleet that fits with that. It's not a cowardly thing. There are people that fly interdiction missions, that do ground landings, that do medical evac. These are all valuable roles. I know you don't want to let your fellow pilots down, but you need to talk to them about this.
Medical evac.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Oh, yeah. There are pilots that are flying down onto the battlefield to do pickups, retrievals, drop-offs. They have the second lowest life expectancy of anyone in the fleet. fighter pilots being the lowest.
Chuck, how well do you know the XO?
I know her okay. Do you want me to speak to her?
I mean, she talked to me about this. I think everybody at this point knows, but medical evac.
I will talk to her. I will do that, but you have to do something for me first.
Talk to my squadron.
Yes.
That's
And
fair.
then I'll be glad to talk to the XO. All
That's
right.
fair. What's the old line? One door closes, another opens, something like that.
Yeah, that it does. I think we now do like space hatch is the phrasing that we use now.
Yeah, just as long as it's not explosive decompression.
That there is that. Hayden, let me come to you. What is you have 2 actions, sleep or do something else. What do you want to do?
So I think that just that tiny little kernel of doubt has been placed into Caden's head.
Mm-hmm.
And in his mind, what his ego is telling him is the reason that he wants to head and run his own investigation is because, of course, Butterfly is loyal. Of course, Butterfly had nothing to do with this, and he's going to find out who did, because that's the good thing to do, is to clear Elsie's name. But somewhere in that id, he's really there because he's afraid that his suspicions will get confirmed as he goes to do his own bit of detective work.
Interesting. I like that. So what do you think that investigation looks like? Just kind of give me what is the montage of this look like before we go to a roll?
So I think it starts very very quiet. It's, I go down to the area, and as casually as I can get away with, given my family name, like, eventually
Right.
somebody in flight crew is going to be like, oh, it's the Anders kid. But I don't want to initiate conversation. I'm letting somebody else come to me. And I just kind of want to like go and poke around a little bit. I try to keep a low profile of it, which I'm fairly good at from days of sneaking out after curfew. But taking a look at like scorch marks, trying to see if there's something that the investigation group might have missed, whether it's fragments, any kind of telltale sign of what the source of this explosion might have been.
Let's have you roll investigate.
Okay. Okay, so that's a 3.
It's a 3. Let's assume we take the boost that you got to bump that up to a 4.
Yeah.
I think that like part of it is looking at, as much as anything, the tech stuff is kind of a little bit of a dead end, but it's like looking at the logistics of who was where, when, opportunity, and so on. And certainly,
Yeah, if there's video, I definitely want to go to the tape.
I think that what you will find is while Elsie and a couple of other people are like in the pool, the obvious pool, you almost suspect that whoever did this like had seen how Elsie operated and chose it in a way to really point the finger. And you don't think it's Elsie? I mean, it still could be like it's just a minor, like little chance it could be, but it's still, but you suspect that it's somewhere higher up. That someone, a senior pilot or senior tech or someone in administration or something, it just feels to you like that's at the heart of this. And I think the other thing that you will realize kind of looking at this is this doesn't feel like an attack by the Union. Given the damage that happened and given the flight paths that are going on, given what you've encountered with the pirates, you suspect that this is somebody who is either a member of the pirates or has been paid off by the pirates. Like, it's a little bit different than it being a straight war action. Does that make any sense?
That like what I think seems incongruous to Caden is if he thinks it's somebody of authority, what are they dealing with? Pirates. Like I would expect if somebody in a position of power is going to be making this kind of subversive action, they'll be in league more with a direct enemy than with an indirect one. It seems like money is a pathetic reason to do this.
Money's a pathetic reason, but at the very least, it's one that's more easily traceable for future lookings. Seem reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's swing back around. Zeus, are you going to sleep?
What's the downfall of not sleeping?
If you do not sleep, then you're going to take 2 shifts of damage.
Okay. So that's
You
stress.
mark two stress.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mark 2 stress.
Okay.
Let's see here. Because I'm gonna be nosing around.
What are you nosing around for? Oh, I think you froze up there. There you go. You froze up for a second, Harry.
Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is trying to find the scuttlebutt of my internet is going in and out right now.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to swing back around and see if I can?
Sure, absolutely. Let's come back to you, Katya. Are you sleeping?
Certain.
Pardon?
For certain.
Okay. Now you'll keep yourself healthy, clean, sound of mind.
Little bit restless as I replay the encounter with the whisper in my head.
When we come to your bunk, your quarters again, we saw and heard some details last time. What's a new thing that we see? Like either the camera picks up or that you take out or something that tells us something about you.
She takes out a picture, a little holo stack, which is pictures of her family. And she does a quick flick through them, and it pops up on a young woman, a few years younger than Katya is, all proud in her cadet uniform. And it's not a static image, so it's showing her, saluting grinning her head off and mugging for the camera a little bit. And she says, I don't know, Yelena. If that were you in a fighter, what would I do? Shit.
Nice. Elsie, we come back to you.
I'm going to sleep.
Okay.
Got a lot of stuff to process.
So same question to you. When we come back to you, see you crashing in your quarters, what's something new that we see this time?
I think I went by one of the kiosks after talking with Chuck and picked up an old paper-based journal and a pen. And I'm just sitting on my bunk, writing in it. I'm actually writing a letter to my sister. It's one she's probably never going to read, but just telling her about what I've seen, not the bad stuff, just the stars and what they look like when you're flying among them, and talking about the conversation I had with Chuck and how I'm thinking about doing something a little bit more in line with my values. Not better, not worse, just different.
Nice. Nice. Caden, do you want to sleep or do you want to mark stress?
So I think that I want to mark stress, but it's partially with Elsie's consent, because I think that Caden wants to wake Elsie up. I don't want Elsie to end up taking stress. You make that choice. Yeah.
Well, we can do
you're
a scene.
sleeping.
You should do your action, and we can do we'll have a chance after we do all this for everybody to call the scene with another PC or NPC.
Okay. Like on the action that I wanted to take, I'll go ahead and just kind of like frame what I
Sure.
was thinking of doing, which was going to Elsie and like really pushing like, who have you pissed off? Like somebody, I don't know if they have it out for you in general or if you're an easy target, but you have to watch your back. I'm going to watch your back for you because you're my squad mate, and that's important to me. That's the kind of thing that I want to frame. But if that's
we'll do
separate,
that. We'll do that scene. Yeah, when we come around. But what do you think?
If I could sleep and do that,
yeah, absolutely,
then I'll
100%. Yeah.
Okay, I'll sleep.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about stress. And what we'll do, let's do Zeus. Come back to you, Harry. Are you good doing your action?
Is it working again?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And it keeps saying your internet connection is unstable. Oh, I hate this thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes. All right. So what I'm trying to do is I'm nosing around. I'm using my contacts and my I'm jumping from game to game. I want to get the scuttlebutt of what actually happened or what people think happened out with that passenger ship, and maybe even what the signs of that Corvette, what it can mean. I'm trying to find somebody who's in the know, who's willing to spill.
Sure. This is another investigate.
That's 2. Okay, even roll, so it's a 2 again.
So what you will pick up is they confirmed your earlier suspicions. Very much a pirate attack. And what they believe is that they are using the information from that and the telemetry that you gave right now to try to trace back where the pirates are operating out of. They think that they're not sure why the pirates took the people. It may be hostages, or maybe there was someone valuable on board that ship. They're trying to run and track that down. But they are, you can hear that they are right now tracking that back, and they're also pulling some other squadrons in. Like, they're taking this seriously. And the sort of the upper echelon are very clearly getting ready to do a major move against the pirates. The thing that maybe disappoints you is that they're more concerned about taking out the pirates, attacking them, interdicting them, less so about saving those people.
Okay.
Does that sound fair?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a military way of thinking. Yes. Very
Yeah.
much so.
They're definitely getting ready for something. Even as you kind of get towards the end of that shift, people are getting pulled out of games to go in and set up for something, and something big is going down. Let's take our first break here. Let's take 10. We'll come back and we'll let you all call PC or NPC scenes, go around and do that. And then we'll get rolling on to the mission. Okay. So take 10. So let's do a once around, let people have a chance to call some interactions, call a scene, do that, set that up before we kind of frame into that next mission. Following the same order, let's start with Zeus.
Especially since he didn't get any sleep, I'm hoping to call a scene with Elsie.
Okay.
You'll see Ezekiel down in the ship bay, looking a lot worse for the wear, and acting very agitated. I mean, like he's like pacing back and forth. He keeps checking one of the ordnance bays off the ship, and looking around like he's waiting for somebody, and he keeps checking his watch. But when he sees you, he lights up and says, and starts motioning you over.
You seem awful excited.
Yeah, been up all night, man. What you call it? Something big's coming down the pike, but I'm in a bind. Milton, my flight tech, he was supposed to meet me here, but he hasn't shown up. Here, let me just show you. And he opens the door to the ordnance bay, and on the floor is the Hawkeye sensor booster, all taken apart piece by piece, spread all across the floor. Now, and he just starts pacing back and forth, and he's saying, I thought I could, give it a supercharge or something, but I seem to have forgotten exactly how it goes back together. And I'm in a bad spot, because if they catch me doing this, then they're gonna take my wings. Is there any way you could help me out?
I look at you with a smile and say, let me guess. When you were a kid, you took apart the refrigerator and the washing machine and everything else, didn't you?
Oh yeah, but he didn't really have any of those. So I just ended up taking apart the shortwave radios and other small electronics around the place.
Yeah,
Parents didn't believe in TV.
I think I can help you out.
Oh, thank you.
So you just, at this point, you just want this thing back together? Or do you still want that boost?
Yeah, because I think it'll come in handy for us, and I don't want to mess things up right now. In fact, actually, I think you might be better suited for this piece of machinery. I mean, I know a little bit about tech, but nowhere near what's needed to get this thing to its full potential.
Let me see. How much space do I have on my ship? Is this something that I can actually put on there?
So you have two loadout that you can use. And this Hawkeye sensor takes one loadout. So right now you have the inertial suppression unit and the adaptive computation node. So you, in order to use the Hawkeye, you'd have to give up one of those two.
All right. And kindly, can
Absolutely.
I apologize for this?
No, no,
Remind
'cause-
me what these things do.
Absolutely. So right now you've got the inertial suppression. What
Mhm.
it does is it allows you to maximize one die when you're defending to avoid weapon attacks with your spaceship.
Okay.
And then the other one, the adaptive computation, it doesn't do anything first turn, but in the second turn of an engagement, you get to maximize a die for your overcome action to determine your placement. So where you would land if you had to reset your placement on the map with that tactics roll. And then after that, on the second and further turns,
Mhm.
or at the third and subsequent rounds, you get to maximize 2 dice. It's most useful if you're going to be taking a lot of tactical refocus actions.
Yeah, I'll dump that in favor of the Hawkeye.
Okay.
Because the Hawkeye can help us out quite a bit, and I'm sitting at a 1 or 2 technology.
Right.
Just not working for me.
All right. And the Hawkeye sensor booster does what?
So the Hawkeye sensor booster allows you to get this back to those pages. You maximize 2 dice during the detection action at the start of the encounter.
Okay.
And essentially it's a high range sensor equipment.
I think it gives us a chance to come in undetected sometimes. So
Yeah,
we want
if
those-
everybody rolls really
the roll.
well, there's a good chance of having certain people end up in the undetected.
Okay. So I've got the Hawkeye on my system or on my ship now. Do
Okay.
you want me to roll to put it back together or just take that?
No,
as
I
full?
think that's just story logic.
Okay.
And because what I took for my advance was I took 1 point in technology from 1 to 2, and then athletics from 0 to 1 instead of a stunt. And this represents, Elsie showing me the parts and how they go back together. It
Nice.
gives me that boost. But while we're doing that, though, I want to get the information across to you that the brass are that a major op is coming down. We're going to be going probably, back out against these pirates, but they're not focusing on the right thing. They're only focusing on what they can do militarily. They're not looking at the passengers that are missing. They're not trying to find them or anything along those lines. I think that might be up to us if we can figure something out.
We'll figure something out. We don't leave if we're leaving civilians out there to die, what the hell is the point?
Yeah, and that's.
I mean, if this is supposed to be about freedom for them, what good is freedom if they're dead?
Yeah, exactly.
Katya, let's have you call a scene.
So I think with Puckett's indulgence, that this might happen as Elsie's going by a bar, and Katya is there with some of the other pilots, and she has a data pad out, and is showing them something to general, raucous approval. And she says, "Hey, yeah, okay. Have you ever seen anything like that? Hey, there she is. Elsie, come here."
And I look a little startled and say, okay.
Okay, wait, I'm going to start it again. So it's a gun sight camera view of Katya trying to, picking up an enemy fighter who's being a little tricksy, when out of the blue comes your fighter and just about sideswipes them right into the gun sights of Katya's thing for, for an easy, 5-second hold the trigger down, kill. And then there's enormous cheer when this happens from everybody, and banging of cups on the table and things like that. Probably a few people bang you on the back.
And I'll smile somewhat uncomfortably, and you get the idea that there might be something else going on with that.
All right, everyone. I tossed some money on the table, and click off my data pad. Go peddle your papers. And wave them away, and ask you to take a seat. You want to sit down?
Yeah, I could use a cup of coffee.
Sure. Anything in it?
Not Irish, just straight black coffee.
They don't have anything that would rises to the level of Irish coffee here. But black it is. What's the matter? You look down for someone coming back from a terrific mission. Is it that transport? That'd shake up anybody.
Do you know Chuck? I guess he's sort of the station chaplain, counselor, therapist.
Sure. I've I've seen him with his hair down a little bit, mostly, not in his professional role, but actually, he does. He did an Orthodox service for me once to remember one of my grandmothers who died back on planet. Couldn't get away. It's something we do. Better than nothing. Blessed a gift so that I could send it home to be buried with her.
Yeah. Stopped by and had a chat with him yesterday.
Fine.
Because I don't think I can do this anymore, Katya. Not talking about flying. I'm just.
You better not be talking about flying.
I know you can punch up everybody's service records and what it says in there.
I can if I want to. Mostly I don't stick my nose in. You don't want to be a fighter pilot.
Well, this is part of what Chuck offered to help me, but this is part of what he told me I had to do beforehand.
Oh, we are your penance? That's not the right word.
No, just.
No, you have to make it clean because you're doing something different.
I'm a Quaker, and.
What? Really? I didn't think they let those fly fighter jets.
Well, that ought to explain some of the things that I do while flying a little bit better to you now. Why I didn't take that shot. Why I come back to the station with every round of ammunition still in the cannon. Chuck said he'd talk to the XO about getting me transferred to medical evac flights. I don't have any conflict there. I won't have to pull a trigger. I can still help.
Tough service, medevac.
Well, as he
And-
pointed out, it's the second deadliest occupation on the station. The first being what I'm doing now. So if you look at it that way, I am actually improving my odds of survival.
But it's different, you know? You're going to be, you don't have a problem with blood.
Nope.
You're going to be seeing a lot.
Yep.
A lot of half-dead people. And worse than that. What do you want me to say? I don't know what to think about this. On the
You
one
don't need
hand,
to say anything.
yes, I do. You should say something in a case like this, right? You should. You're sure about this?
It makes sense. I can do good. I can help people. I can save lives, and I won't be in a position where anybody second guesses me not taking one.
True enough. But well, on the one hand, good for you for figuring this out before you got killed or got someone else killed. On the other hand, Elsie, God damn you for not figuring it out before you got into the service here.
I know, right?
What are we going to do without you? You may not have shot down any fighters, but you had a lot more effectiveness than a great many hotshots that I have seen. And you didn't get killed either, which is, believe me, is a talent.
Yeah, but think about how many pilots die in medical evac. How many lives are on those ships?
You think that's supposed to make me feel better? The knowing that some fucker somewhere in an anti-aircraft battery has a missile with your name on it?
Think about all the people I can save.
Oh, those jarheads will never have a better pilot. Don't necessarily expect gratitude from them.
I won't.
There's a lot of, not a lot of friendship between the services.
I mean, I know full well that the two-letter phrase that they use most doesn't start with thank, even though it still ends in you.
Yeah. From their point of view, if you're not in the middle with a rifle in your hands, then fuck you. And they don't appreciate how dangerous it is. They just think, oh, you get to sleep in a nice warm bed in between missions far away from the front lines. Fuckers. I hope you're sure.
I'm going to cut there.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut that scene there. Let me, because do Caden scene, and then Elsie, you've been in everybody's scene, but I'm going to let you have a chance to call the scene. Is that cool?
I'm totally fine with just kind of hand waving that.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Elsie's gotten a lot of screen time.
Caden.
Because of course, Caden has to talk to Elsie.
Yeah, let's do
It's
that scene
important.
to wrap out this sequence.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief to some extent. So I think that Caden kind of aggressively confronts Elsie, but it's because he's concerned for her. And there's no, it might read his anger, but that's not what's there. It's fear. And kind of grabs you from a hallway. Perhaps as we're heading down to the flight hangar, and pulls
Do I
you
see you
aside.
coming, or do you like kind of, is this
I
from
think
an
I come
alcove or
from the shadows. It's, you don't see me coming, like you're headed to go do your pre-flight preparations. We're getting ready for this mission. And I grab you before you can get to your ship. Butterfly, who the fuck did you piss off?
what? Jesus, Caden.
Look, I'm really worried about everything that's going on here. I think there's a lot of stuff that's way outside of our control or our knowledge. And I don't know if somebody's trying to set you up because of something you did, or they're trying to set you up because you're an easy target. But
What are you even talking about?
I'm talking about the bomb.
The bomb. You're not
I-
making any sense, Caden.
That none of it makes any sense. But I know that the top brass are keeping an eye on you. I think somebody's trying to set you up. I know you're the
Because I
best
didn't take
goddamn
that
pilot on our
shot?
squad. I don't know why. I don't think it's that. This is from before that. This has, as far as I can tell, nothing to do with who you're taking a shot at and who you're not at. For all I care, you could not pull the trigger a single goddamn time every time we go out there, because you're keeping the rest of our squad alive. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's, it's more important that we all come back than that none of whoever we're going out there to shoot down makes it back to their ships.
But what does this have to do with bombs?
Somebody is, I don't know, they're partnered with pirates. I don't know if it's money. I don't know if it's straight up just being a traitor, but somebody's is trying to sabotage our operations. I need more time to figure out exactly what's going on, but I'm just asking you, please keep your eyes open. Check your ship carefully before we go out. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to tell the rest of the squad to do the same, but I think somebody has it out for us, and somebody might have it out for you specifically.
Great. Just what I needed.
I'm sorry,
You want me to,
but
you want me to check over everybody's ship? Just in case?
I think you have a better set of eyes than most of the rest of us. But I can help if you want. I'm not too bad at ship maintenance since I've been living around them my whole life.
I guess put a pot of coffee on. Let's get busy.
All right, let's get to it. Happy hunting.
And you won't find anything set up on your ships. Won't find any sabotage, anything excessive in there as you do your run throughs. All of you will be called down by the squadron commander, by Squadron Commander Karan, and you can tell there's lots of activity going on all around, and several squads are brought in, including some support. You're there along with the gutter rats and other teams, and Karan will say, all right, we've been working on information supplied by Tachyon Squadron. In particular, some of the sightings and telemetry picked up by Officer Zeus, Ezekiel, and we've been able to draw some inferences and make some confirmations. We have confirmed that there is a major force of pirates, some of which are in flight right now, in operation even as we speak, a major raiding force. We've been able to finally track this back to the planet Asami. We are breaking up our forces into several flights. Some of you will be heading out to strike at the pirates themselves, full intercept. Others will be representing our backstop going in orbit of Asami. So if our pirate raiders attempt to fall back, we have ready intercepts. This is going to be a heavy ordnance mission. It'll be a dangerous mission, and our backstop pilots are going to be in some ways at the riskiest place. Accordingly, we've decided that Tachyon Squadron will take that flight in orbit of Asami for pirate fallback. And we have other flights going in. We're hoping that this mission can allow us to make a significant strike against the pirates and bring their threat to a close here in system. Are there any questions? Katya?
What are we up against?
We're uncertain as of yet. We've been able to confirm that they have gators and goblins. We don't think that we're facing any kind of capital ship. In fact, we think that those may already be landed or may have already gone out of system. The numbers may be high. We don't know how many are going to fall back. We don't know how many are going to hold the line.
Ground installations?
We don't know yet.
Are we escorting bombers?
No. No, this is you are flying interdiction on the pirates on their fallback. We don't yet have a sense of what the ground forces look like. We want to hit them while they're not grounded as much as possible. That's why we've rushed preparations on this. That's why we're moving as quickly as we are. Ordinarily, we'd like another 72 or more hours to get this ready, but we just don't have that time.
And quick question for Lowell, is this still connected to what was being discussed earlier, Ezekiel finding out that like extrication was not part of this mission? Like there are people that are at risk, or this is separate?
They certainly haven't talked about rescuing hostages in this. So to answer your question, yes, that hasn't been mentioned by the officers at all in this. We need you to get ready, check your ordinances, set your loadouts, and we need you scrambled within the next 30 minutes. We want to get this up in the air. And Karan will head out and teams will start dispersing out to their various squadrons.
Let's go, let's go.
Does everybody have set what they are taking ordnance wise? Zeus, what are you carrying?
I'm going to be carrying 2 rocket volleys.
2 rocket volleys. Okay. So 2 one-use rocket volleys. Butterfly, what are you carrying?
Sorry, I was looking at the tab.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm just going with my current loadout, which is the Hawkeye sensors and the inertial suppression unit.
Okay. Katya, what do you have?
I have the shield booster.
Okay. And then what did you take, Legacy?
What is the particle accelerator?
Okay. So the particle accelerator is an axial weapon that directs relativistic protons at targets. Essentially, it adds 1 to your weapon rating for all damage. So it's doing an additional point of additional shift of damage when it impacts.
Sure, I'll take that. That sounds fun.
Okay. So we will cut to the squadron in system heading into orbit here around Asami. It's a cold planet. It's got some structures on it, but it's a harsh world. And even as you're coming in, you are getting a lot of chatter, sensor readings, things like that. Essentially, there are multiple dogfights further out from this. And you can tell that the other major flight wings have encountered some of these pirates. And there's that sort of tension of the next maybe 5 to 10 minutes of you kind of holding orbital positions as you're starting to hear that chatter, as the fire is going off, as you're hearing the crosstalk, things like that. And then there'll be a priority signal that comes down from the command, and it says, Katya, Tachyon Squadron, are you set? Are you up?
Ready? Are you ready?
You have a large force inbound. Deal with it as you can. We've got to return to trying to interdict the rest, but get ready.
5 by 5. We're ready.
And
Attention, Tachyon Squadron. Here they come.
and we will see your groups in space, and we see 4 times your numbers of fighters.
They weren't kidding.
16 fighters, 8 pairs of fighters coming in, 14 of them gators, the standard stuff you fought, and then another pair running goblins, the higher end ships, and they are making a beeline for the planet, and you have to interdict. So we're going to go here. I'm going to pull up the tracker. If you go to the tracker tab, we're going to roll for the detection to see where people get placed, whether the detection goes on. And then we're going to roll for the maneuvering the tactics to see where we get placed on the sheet itself. Right now, where the tracker that we have up is the sort of upper orbit. There'll be a second tracker if things break through. And I've got that sort of hidden right now, but that can pop up at some point here. So the first thing everybody does is you're going to roll technology. Elsie, you get to maximize 2 dice on this tech roll.
Fucking thing. Says Katya over the com, banging your fist, banging the the console.
All right.
Piece of shit, never works.
Katya, what'd you roll?
Let's see. I got a -3 on my roll to
Minus
my technology
3.
of 1, which is a -2.
-2. Zeus, what did you get?
3 total.
3 total.
I think my thing just blanked out for a moment.
Legacy, what'd you get?
At flat roll, so 2 total.
Okay. And Elsie, what'd you get?
Okay, so that includes my tactic or my tech +2.
Plus the so it's your tech, and then you roll the dice and you get to
And maximize
maximize 2 of them.
Okay. So let's see. So my tech is 3. And then if I maximize 2 dice, that means I'm adding another +2. So that's +5.
Okay.
Plus 3, actually. I think. But
Maximizing 2 dice.
yeah,
Is
but
it-
you got a plus, and you maximize the blank and the minus to a plus. I think that's the way it works, isn't it?
Yeah, actually. So you roll the 4 dice,
Yes.
and then you change the 2 lowest ones into pluses, and then figure out what the total is at that point.
Okay, so there's +3 from tech. Then if I'm maximizing the 2 lowest, that adds another +3.
Yep.
So that's +6 as opposed to +5.
So you are in good shape. Nobody is going to be undetected, and you will pick up that. I will make a note of that roll that you got. That'll come in to play later on. Okay, the detection success you got there. So what I need everybody to do now is, this is our first movement phase. What you're going to do is you're going to roll your tactics, and whatever your total is on tactics is where you're going to place your ship on this chart. So if everybody could do that. I'm getting all the bad guys.
Brandon, forgive me, I moved your dice. I touched one of your dice because it was on
dice.
top of one of mine.
It's fine.
Is there any
So-
chance I could go ahead and use one of my stunts? The one
Yeah.
about the rapport stunt?
Sure. Well, you can do it on your action is what you can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you, can we tag something after rolling, after seeing what the opponents did here? or is it
Absolutely.
just all-
Yeah. So everybody should be reset on your
Okay. let me do that.
fate points. You can after if you want to spend a fate point and tag an aspect, you could raise yourself up. Yep.
I'm tagging veteran pilot. This.
Okay. Does anybody else want to spend to raise their tactics roll?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend using youngest in a long line of fighter pilots.
Okay. Then move yourself up to the 6. So let's start with you, Katya. To tell you, the ones that are in white are goblins. The ones that are in black and goblins. The one that is unnumbered, that's the goblin. The other one's the gators. So the one that has no number on it is the higher end vessel.
Yes.
So what do you want to do?
That's the one I wanted to go after.
Okay.
So yes, so I'm going to do a long curve, long curve spin, hit the afterburners, and get onto his 6.
Okay. So dropping down onto his tail. So go ahead and move yourself back down to 6. Or sorry, no, you're on 7. So you're just right
I'm
above
on
him. So
7, so I am
yeah,
right
so
above
you note that. So let's go ahead and have you make that attack roll with a +2. And I roll a pilot for defense on this. Right now, I'm at a 2.
Right now, I am at I'm at a 5.
Okay, so that barrage there will across and you'll pop their shields. So one of the set of 2 has their shields popped. And that sprays across. Let's come to Legacy. You'll see that you 2 are up high. You're going to go simultaneous with the ones that are on your row. But I'm going to resolve you first.
Okay. I think what I want to do, I'll take a snapshot at that the same one that Katya had fired at.
Perfect. Let's have you make that roll.
Okay. So that's a 2.
And I've got a 1. So that will do 1 shift damage, except you've got weapon 1 or wait.
Oh, yes. Yes, I didn't count that from you.
Oh, okay.
At
So
1.
So you have weapon 1 plus the
Particle
loadout.
accelerator.
So you have weapon level 2. So that will do 3 points, which will pop the other, or you hit the same one. So
Same one.
So yeah, tears across. It is still up, but it is badly damaged. You think another rake like that will take out one of the pair?
Okay. I shout out to Katya. Guess you want to keep a tail on him? Do you want me to push that other guy down for you? Give you a
Good
clear
idea.
shot?
Yes.
All right, so then I'm gonna make a push for my second action on that gray fellow.
Gray 2?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll roll their pilot. Pilot is a 0 total.
Okay. My pilot is A 2 total.
2 total. So you push them down 2 shifts. So, and in fact, I'll kind of we'll put them down 3 shifts actually. Just to make things easier for me to work with. So yeah, tell me what that looks like. What does that look like when you're doing that? Is it a pass? Is it fire? Like what gets them in that position?
Yeah, I think it's a close pass, just kind of buzzing over him, and kind of dropping out of the sky so that like we just lightly kiss,
Okay.
and to keep themselves up in space, they feel they have to drop to a more defensive position.
All right. They will take their shots from this goblin there. It goes simultaneous with yours. So first shot, this is versus your piloting.
Okay.
Get this re-rolled. I've got a 3.
Ooh, let's see here. So I have a 2.
So you would mark 1 shield.
Okay.
Second shot. I'll spend one of my fate points. And I will tag high performance fighter. That's better. That gives me a 5 versus whatever you rolled.
Oh
there.
my God. Well, I'm gonna want to re-roll that some way. I could just ping my high concept again, but I feel like I just did that just to get into my tactical positions. I feel I ought to tag something else.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm embarrassing myself in front of Elsie.
Oh, nice.
So I will tag another fate point to re-roll. Come on.
Woof.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Holy
good reroll.
moly. 4 pluses. What does that take you to?
It takes me to 7.
Yeah, they don't even touch you. They don't even touch you. You roll out of the way of that like no problem. They are going to try.
After a bad moment.
One of the pair tries to create an advantage for the pair. The other one will get essentially so they've got one invoke of erratic flying essentially as an advantage out there for that pair. Hey, let's drop down to +4. Who is green on +4?
That's me.
Okay.
So first action, I'm going to create an advantage with my tactics.
Okay.
Let's see here. Yep. Okay, so it's a 2.
So that'll be 1 invoke on that. What do you want to call that?
I want to call it Furball, because that's what this is turning into very quickly.
Okay. All right. So that's your first action.
And second action, I want to take the tactical refocus,
Okay.
and that's another tactics roll.
Yep.
That's better. That's 2, so that puts me up at 6, and I don't degrade.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and move yourself up there. Elsie.
Well, for my first action, I'd like to create an advantage using rapport
Okay.
for the squad.
Perfect.
And basically, I'm just going to break in on comms and say, so there's never a good time to say things like this, and this is probably the worst time to say something like this. But just so you all know, I'm a Quaker, and I talked to Chuck earlier and said I had to tell everybody in the flight before he'd help me put in for a transfer to take medical evacs. But I figured y'all should know. But don't worry about it. I'm here until I'm not here. and I'll keep doing the same thing that I've been doing. So good talk. Good talk.
Let's have you make that roll.
Okay.
All righty. So my report is, God, so many tabs. This isn't even that many tabs. Okay, so my report is 2, and I gain +2 to create to attempts to create an advantage. So that'll be +4.
Oh yeah.
Let's see how this goes. That is +5.
5. And I forget, do you create an extra invoke with this?
I do.
Okay. What do you want to call this?
Just because it seems very fitting. Society of Friends.
Okay. And three invokes on that.
So the next thing that I'd like to do, and let me know if this makes sense, because I know we're facing a lot of ships here.
Uh-huh.
Can I use pilot to attack if I frame it as basically trying to pilot, get one ship on my tail chasing me, and then try to fly it into another enemy ship?
Ooh, interesting. You don't get your weapon
Yep.
if you do that, but you can certainly try that.
Okay.
Let's do pilot versus pilot.
So we're literally doing PvP.
Yep, exactly.
And that is another 5.
Okay. So you will have 5. I've got that. So on that set there, I assume we'll say black 2. You will have the 2 of them clip, and you will pop the shields on one of them, and actually do. Oh wait, 5. Yeah, you actually blow one of them up.
Well, I don't actually do it because they flew into the other ship. So my conscience is clear.
Your conscience is clear.
But I will say, Katja, did you get that on your camera?
So you've got that, and so number 2 is down to 1 ship in that pair. It is good to go. It'll resolve before that. So we'll take 1 shot at Zeus. Zeus, gunnery from that ship on you is going to be a 1.
And my piloting will be flat, so it's a 3.
Okay, you will avoid that. And then same thing for you, Elsie. Gosh, I've got a 1 on you.
Okay. So can I roll to, this is damage, correct?
You roll pilot to evade. Yep.
Okay. That still gives me a +2.
Okay. Yeah, you will evade. On 4, you will see. Should I clear these out here? Delete that. That pair of gators labeled white 4, they will drop down to hit top of Atmo. Followed by on +3, that next pair will also drop down. Let's see, 1, they are going to have to try and do that. So they are going to try and create an advantage for their first action. One, it'll give them another. We'll put another invoke on erratic flyers. And they are going to try and do a tactical refocus on their action. So tactics is 2. +1 is a 3. We'll burn that to pop them to a 5. So this one, cut, move up. Number 3 is going to do much the same thing. Create advantage. Put another. Then we got 3 invokes on that. And I burnt 1, so actually just 2. And they are going to tactical refocus as well. This +2 is a 4. I'll burn 1 of those to get them up to cut a 6. And then on +1s, these other pairs will drop down into that sort of transition set. So to tell you what that looks like is they go down into there. On the next turn, they can take their full action to move onto the other sheet. They're in that transition on the next turn. And then the following one after next turn, they can roll to place themselves on the tactical map at that point. But they are below you, so they can be attacked. Anybody that is a level below you can be attacked. So anybody who didn't do a tactical refocus will degrade. And that'll bring us to the second turn. Essentially, I want you to imagine now everybody is bunched up. You're all in that close layers, all swirling around one another. It is just absolute chaos right now. A couple of ships are, so one ship is down, others are wounded. It's very clear that these pirates have split into 2 wings, one of them engaging with you, and the other set heading down, clearly trying to get to their base. So let's start with blue, Anonymous Wombat.
That would be me.
Okay. You are on tail for the goblin, which means right now, if you attack it and stay with a full phase on their tail, you'll get a +3 to your attack roll.
Those goblins can take about 4 hits, right? After shields?
No, the goblins can take about 7 hits after shields.
Oh, okay.
So to tell you, like let's not hide any things. The first goblin of the pair has three structural left. The other one hasn't taken any hits of the pair.
Right. Okay.
Don't forget your loadouts and ordinances and all that cool shit.
Yes. I only have the one, so that's easy to remember. I am going to I think I'm actually we have too many up here. And I want some people to be able to peel off. So I'm actually going to snapshot the damaged one.
Okay.
And try to kill him.
All right. So snapshot step 1. Let's have you make that attack roll. You'll roll at your base versus their pilot. So this is with a +2 for them, giving me just a 2.
That's a 7.
That will light up one of the pair of goblins will explode in a fireball. What's your second action?
The second one is going to, I'm going to create an advantage using gunnery to free up whoever wants to dive to the deck to intercept the fleeing fighters.
Okay. What do you want to call that?
I'm going to call that let's see, if it were coming up, it would be flak. What do you call it? Death from above.
Death from above. Okay, let's have you roll. Oh, that looks like 2 invokes on death from above there.
Yeah, and that's that's it's so I got a 7.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And my knack gives a free invoke, so it's actually 3.
Okay, 3 invokes on that as you lay down a host of fire across there. Green.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to drop on the tail of the untouched goblin
Okay,
and
Someone better chase after those fleeing bastards.
oh yeah, I just want to make sure these guys go away first.
So Elsie and I can take care of these ones.
so Harry, what are you doing? You're gonna are you letting loose with your rocket? Is that the plan?
Yep, yep,
Okay.
yep. Putting a rocket right up its tail.
Okay, then let's have you make that
It's a
Gary.
pilot.
So it's weapon 6 on a successful attack.
Yeah, and I use pilot instead of gunnery for this one.
If it was a large target, you would,
Oh, okay.
but it's not a large target. So you
Okay.
just use regular versus their pilot.
And -1, that would put me at 1. I don't want to waste the rocket. So,
Oh boy. Well, I've got a -1 total.
okay. So a 1 would be a difference of 2.
So
You
you'll
add
do
the weapon.
9 points. So that will evaporate it.
Yes.
What is that? What does that look like?
That looks like a scene right out of Robotech. Drops down on behind them, and a whole bunch of missiles go out in the nice anime missile storm, and it just disappears in multiple explosions.
Perfect. I'm going to take the shots from the Gators there. Let's take 1 shot on you, Zeus. So this plus 3 is still, so I've got a 2 on you.
Got a 4.
Okay, you'll defend. And then the other one, this will be on Katya on the same level. I've got a 3 on you, Katya.
And I have a 3.
Okay, so equal. So if it survives, that one will have a boost on you.
Mm-hmm.
Black 3 boost. Drop down to red.
I was on mute. Okay, I want to get on the tail. Which one is that? I guess number 2 of the goblins.
Okay, of the white or black?
Black.
Okay. So I'm gonna actually cut and put over here just so I remember. Over here. Okay. So you're on the tail. Let's have you go ahead and make that roll for me.
Okay.
With the +2 for the being on the tail.
Okay, so that comes out to +1. That's a 3 total.
I've got a 2 total, so that's going to do 1 shift, unless you want to invoke some aspects, or we've got some stuff on the table.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna take the death from above. I'll invoke that.
Okay. So that'll be enough to pop the shields. Are you good with that?
I'm good with that.
Okay, so they've just got their structural left on that. All right. Let's see. I think number 2 and number 1 are gonna have to take their shots there on you, Elsie.
All right, so I'm rolling pilot to defend.
Yep. So first one is gonna be a 6.
Wow. Okay. So pilot is 4. So I'm looking at 4 there. I'll use one of the Society of Friends aspects.
Okay.
And if I meet it, they get a boost, correct?
Yep, they get a boost.
All righty.
You can invoke another aspect to eliminate that if you want, or spend a fate point.
Okay. I'll go ahead and invoke death from above.
Okay.
If that's okay with Brandon. That was your advantage, wasn't it?
It was designed to keep them off your back. Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. We still got some more shots on you because you're on that level. So let's take
Yep.
that. Next shot is going to be a 4.
Okay. All right, so that puts me at -1 there. So +3, and I'll invoke Society of Friends again, which gets me to a +5.
Perfect. You will negate that. 2 more pair, or 2 more rather. I've got a 4.
Okay, give me a second here.
Sure.
And I have a 4 as well.
So I've got a boost against you.
Do we have any invokes left?
We've got Furball, Society of Friends, and Death from Above all have invokes.
Okay, I'll use a Furball.
Okay. And then I got one more chance to do something here. I've got another 4 for the gunnery on you. As imagine you're all these ships and you're weaving through them. Let's
I
see
am
it.
a leaf on the wind. Watch how I soar.
Yes.
Oof, that's 2.
Forget your shields.
All right, so I'll use an invoke on Society of Friends.
Okay, that takes you to equal, so a boost.
And then I'm going to go ahead and drop a fate point here
Okay.
because I don't know if you've been paying attention to side chat, but Katja says she always has a camera on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to tag relationship, my second relationship. Katja is a role model, and I don't want to let her down with whatever the hell she's recording at this point, at this moment.
Perfect. And so they won't touch you. We've burned through a bunch of those invokes, but we're back to you, Elsie, on 3.
All right, now if I do a tactical refocus, that takes up both of my moves. Is that correct?
Tactical refocus happens in step 2. So you could snapshot and then tactical refocus, or you could create an advantage and then tactical refocus.
I'm going to create an advantage.
Okay.
And I think it's because I have been weaving in and out. They're really frustrated because they're firing and they're getting nothing but air. So it's really kind of getting hazardous down there for them, I think. So I think it makes sense to create the advantages in piloting.
Okay. Then let's have you make that roll.
All right. That is +5.
Okay. So what do you want to call that?
Call it Careless Whisper.
Okay. 2 invokes on that up in it. And you want to do a tactical refocus for your second action?
Yes, please.
Roll overcome with tactics.
All right. So tactics is 1.
Okay.
Which gets me to a -2 on that roll. I think this is a good time to spend a fate point to just re-roll.
Okay. What aspect of your own are you tagging?
Can I tag Katja as a role model again?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that then.
Okay. So go ahead and make that re-roll.
Okay, that gets me to +3. If I use an aspect, Can I bump that up higher?
Yeah, you can bump that to a 5 if you use an invoke or you spend a fate point for an aspect.
All right. What all do we still have on the table? Careless Whisper. Do we have any on Society of Friends or no?
No,
And Death from Above is
has
zeroed
one
out.
invoke left.
Okay, so theoretically I could move up to a 7.
So right now, if you spent the Death from Above, you can move up to a 5. And if you want to
Mhm.
spend another one, you can move up to 7.
All righty. In that case, you know what? I will just move up to 5 using one of
Death
the
from
invokes from
Above?
Careless Whisper.
Oh, the Careless Whisper. Okay. Put that invoke back on that. Drop the Careless Whisper. So weird. Let me get that set. That goes to there. So you'll pop yourself up to 5. All right, now we get to that's the end of the round. The things that are in the special are transitioning on this round. Next round, after this, we'll resolve where they go on the sheet. My guys are all going to drop. And I think that paste. The only one that doesn't decay is Elsie, right? Because you did the tactical refocus.
Yes.
So we've got 3 people there on the +5 row. And Elsie, you're purple, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'll resolve green and blue first, just because you did the last action, just to kind of keep the
Okay.
sequence rolling around. 3 will go simultaneously, so it will still get its action resolved regardless of what happens here. Let's start with green.
Okay, so how do I drop down to go after the ones that drop to the other map?
So what you'll do is essentially that's your action. You can drop down into this. Essentially, we'll put you at the +3, but effectively you're in that special zone, which means that you could do it on the tail on them at that round, and then transition
Okay.
with them on the next round if you wanted to. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
good.
So let me cut. We'll put you down here. You're in the special zone, but I'm just putting you here to mark that. So let's have you make that roll.
All right.
Gunner versus pilot.
And does this count as on the tail or?
Yeah, because you
Okay,
come down as they're dropping on their tail. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so it's a flat roll, so that'd be a 2, then +2 from the tail, so 4.
With the -2. So one of the pair of number 1 is going to evaporate as you come sailing down on it. Okay.
That works.
So let me put that in just to mark that out for myself there. So you'll come down, drop down of these pairs, you vaporize one of them. Let's come to blue.
The 1 and 2, one is a single plane, and one of those pairs is a single.
The 3 is a single, the other ones are pairs.
Okay, well, it doesn't.
Oh
matter
no,
to
I'm
me.
sorry.
I'm working on it.
Sorry, it's a little bit of damage to 3, no damage to 1, and number 2 is right on the edge of being out of it.
Okay. I'm going to actually drop down on one of the ones then. Just give one of
Okay.
them something to think about.
Go ahead and put yourself. So on the tail on 1.
Yes.
Okay, let's have you make that roll. Pilot is 1.
Come on, dice. You can
I've
do
got a
better.
1.
My dice rollers. There we go. I'm going to use a fate point to reroll.
Okay. What are you tagging?
I'm tagging, I'll tag Society of Friends, because why not?
Okay, nice. Oh, yeah, perfect. So what does that get you?
Okay, so that is 4, 5, 7, and I'll tag, let me think.
If you're at a 7,
Yes.
you're going to blow up one of them.
Okay,
You don't even need to do any more. That like runs across and will evaporate. So one of the pairs there for 1 is zatched. Purple.
Indeed. All right. So shockingly enough, I'm going to try to create an advantage.
Okay.
And it worked well last time. So I want to try to jam their sensors.
Oh, interesting.
You know, that's something that we have not yet done. And I really don't like them being able to read their instrument panels and get an idea of what's going on.
Let's have you roll with technology.
That is +2. I'll go ahead and tag Careless Whisper
Okay.
to get that to 4.
So we'll put 2 invokes on jammed and drop an invoke from Whisper. That's phase 1. What do you want to do
Yep.
for phase 2?
I'm going to degrade if I don't do a tactical refocus, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. The ship that's on the same line as me, how many ships are left in that? Is that just 1 ship?
That's 2 ships in 3.
Okay, 2 ships and 3 are left. I want to see if I can get them to fly into some space debris,
Okay.
do some damage.
Let's have you make that roll.
All right. Pilot, and that is +3.
And I've got a +1, so you'll do 2 shifts on 3. Which will take care of the shield and go a little bit into structure there.
How much structure do they have left?
They've got another 3 after that.
Good enough.
Okay. They are going to go. So this happens simultaneously. So they are going to edit, cut, drop down onto the tail of Zeus, and they are going to open up on you. So I've got 2 shots on you, Zeus. First one, let's see, and I'll tag that. So right now I'm at a 4. I've got a 6.
Okay, so I'm at a 1, so I think it's time to spend a fate point and tag. I think I'm going to tag the relationship with Legacy, because I don't want to go out like this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that'd just be embarrassing.
Yeah.
So what are you at now?
Okay, so I have to let me re-roll. Yeah, that's better. That's 2 plus 3 from pilot, so 5.
Okay, so you're going to take 1 hit on your shields.
Okay, and I take a stress as well.
Yep. And then the other one in that pair before they get taken out. We'll roll. Let's see, and that. And I'll spend another fate point for the dangerous in groups, which means that I'm at a 6 again.
Okay, so let's see here, and that puts me at 5.
Okay, so you're going to take just another hit on your shields, but you're going to mark another stress.
Okay, so got 1 stress left. Let me go to my ship, and I got 2 shield hits.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was 5 let's go. Who do we have left to go on 4? Okay, legacy.
Okay, so I already have a tail on goblin number 2.
Yep.
So I will continue that and get another shot. So this is gonna be at a +3 now, right?
Okay. Yes, it is.
Okay. Let's see here. So -1 plus.
I'm at a 1.
Okay, I'm at a 4.
That will blow it out of the sky.
Woo!
So that will clear it. Let me reset that. And let's see, 2. 2 is up. Can go. I think it's also got to drop down. Because he's got to try and stop you from blowing more, following those up. So a couple more shots on you, Zeus.
We're on our way. Stay alive.
So this +5 means I've got a 4 for the first one.
Okay, and flat roll, so I'll have a 3.
Okay, so you take another hit on your shields and mark another stress.
And that fills my stress up. Does that do anything?
Well, now you can't mark stress. Now you have to
Okay.
take consequences.
Okay. And let me get my shield. All right. And my shields are gone.
Okay, and second shot, this +5. I've got a 5.
Okay. And I got a 6.
Oh, so close. I was so close. The shields are gone. It's delicious. I'm so excited. And yet, nothing happens there. So, end of this round, what's going to happen is we're going to move Zeus and these other ships. They're going to make maneuver rolls to see where they are on the other page. 2 and 3 of the black are going to stay where they're at. And all of you will degrade if you didn't do a tactical refocus. Sound got that? How that's going to work? So I need to do some tactics rolls. Let's have you make a tactics roll first, Zeus.
Alrighty. That is going to be -1, so I'll be at a 3.
We have
Can I tag any of these things as I'm going out?
Yeah,
Can I like tag one of the jam sensors to
perfect.
and how much would that add? 2?
That add another 2.
So
you'd
I'd
be at a
the
5. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and cut and put yourself at the 5 there. And let me make some quick rolls here. So that's going to be at 0. -1. I should have brought my deck of fate. That would make this much faster, but I didn't. Ooh, that person actually got a positive roll and a shocking turn of events. So these first 2 cut are going to go to 0. Paste. This one cut goes to cut goes to a 3. Paste. All right. Purple on 4.
All righty. So have these new ships shown up yet?
New ships. What new ships?
I thought there were some additional ships that were coming up.
Oh no, essentially the one half were engaging you, and the other half were fleeing to the planet.
Okay. So of the we have 2 and 3 down at -2 now.
Yep. Yeah, they are essentially readying to transition into the Atmo to go after Zeus on the next round.
Okay. If I create advantages where I am right now, can Zeus use them?
No.
Okay. So I need to transfer over to the next one, it
Right.
sounds like.
So you can do that as your second step, essentially move yourself into that transition space. But you can do something before that on the step 1.
Do any of them have their shields left?
Let's see. Right now it looks like Black 2 has one that has shields fully left and one that's structure. And then 3 has shields down.
All right. I want to just fly down and literally break the shields on number 2 with my wingtip. Just kind of
Okay.
like I'm smacking it.
Okay. Let's have you make that roll.
All righty. And with pilot, that brings it up to +3.
Okay. And I've got a 4.
All right. What aspects do we have left on the table?
Jammed has 1 free invoked. Death from Above has 1 free invoked.
All right. I'll go ahead and take that invoke on jammed and just figure they didn't see me coming because they were looking at their sensors instead of actually looking.
Okay.
At
You
stuff.
take Death from Above as well. You'll pop their shields.
Oh, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. So all the invokes are done, but shields are down on everyone who is there and available. And then for second step, you want to move yourself into the transition.
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead and cut and paste yourself into the special.
All righty. On it.
Red.
That's me.
Okay.
The deck.
Oh, we got a couple of goblins here who don't have shields anymore.
Mhm.
So I think we can get the drop on.
Give him a passing shot and hit the deck. But we're going to lose the other ones.
Yeah, you could snapshot and then maneuver yourself into the special if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So no bonus for tail, but you get to roll gunnery versus their pilot. I've got a 2.
Okay. Got a 4.
Okay. Do you want to
Plus the 2 from the weapon.
then that will pop number 3. So we'll actually delete this guy.
Then I'll drop down into special.
Okay. And last but not least, 3.
So I will do likewise. I'm just going to turn and spin dive right down on top of 2, give him a burst as I go by.
Okay, snapshot.
Yes.
Pilot is that plus that. Oh, this roller does not like me at all.
Terrible shot.
What'd you get?
So, 7.
Your terrible shot
No,
is
no, 5. A 5. My terrible
Oh.
shot's a 5. Sorry.
It's
There's not a tail.
what is your gunnery?
My gunnery is a 4.
Okay.
But I have 1 shot, 1 kill. And this is the first time I've shot at that plane.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So that will take out one of that pair before they can go, which means that we kind of mark that with red in the background. Go ahead and drop yourself into the transition.
Doing it.
And they're going to take they go afterwards, but there's 1 ship left. They're also in the transition, so they can take their shot. Do any of you have damaged shields? Any shield damage at all, or are you guys all pristine? Okay, so they're going to
Beautiful
take
as when it was made.
they're going to take a shot at you, Legacy.
Okay.
And I'll
not
spend
bad.
my last one of that. So 2, 5. I've got a 7 on you.
Oh, gosh, I am currently at a 1, which is not great. I think, I'm gonna evoke, the, tyranny of low expectations that I have with Ezekiel,
Okay. Spend that
to do a
fate point.
reroll. Oh, that's much better.
Come on, you guys.
So that's a
The
six.
zero, sir.
Unbelievable. So you're gonna take 1 point. Does that? Well, you still got a shield left, right?
Yeah, I still have
Okay.
shield left.
So take a shield, but you're also gonna mark a stress as
Okay.
you take another hit.
Who's
Should I have
reroll?
taken the stress, that
You should
last
just
hit that I
skip.
took?
Yes,
Yeah, whenever
should
you get
just-
struck, you always mark a stress.
Okay,
you should just skip the roll and go right to the reroll.
I mean, these rolls have been terrible. Terrible. We come over to the other side in Atmo. These ships, you can see that they are essentially trying to get, into the safety of whatever base they've got there, Zeus. You guys don't have anything that's really, I mean, except for your rockets, you don't have anything that's really ground effect. So if they do manage to land, they're going to get to safety, but you can at least thin their numbers out. Your turn.
Alrighty. I think I will. What's your tracker? Yeah, I'll just drop down on the tail of the one at 3.
Okay.
So drop there. And roll with a +2 bonus. Okay, it's an even roll, so that's going to be 2 + 2, 4.
Okay, and my piloting is what? -1. So you're going to take out one of them in that pair. Holy schmoly. And they're going to drop down. Essentially, I'm going to just kind of paste. I'm just going to put them in. Cut. Paste. So essentially, here's what this is going to look like is they're dropping down. So they're in that transition to land. That's their turn to get there. At the end of the next turn, they're going to land and be out of range. But all of you are going to transition over. So to start this next round, I need everybody who's in the special zone to roll a tactics roll over, and then put yourself in position on the other half at that level. And you will degrade by 1, Harry.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is this a maneuver phase roll again?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'm using pilot instead of tactics.
Yep. And I roll for this guy. So he's going to go and okay. And I'm going to hide rows so we get this back over on this side. Hide columns. There we go. Okay. So you've got some opportunities here before they get land to thin out their numbers. Purple.
I'm going to go ahead and create an advantage.
Okay.
And I'm just going to basically fly straight at them, try to scatter them so that their approach to the landing strip is going to be a lot more complicated.
Okay. Let's have you roll piloting. Oh my gosh.
So that's a 6.
What are we calling that?
Leaves on the wind.
Okay, leaves.
Watch
Do
how
it.
they scatter.
Two invokes on that. That was step one. What do you want to do for step two?
I want to try to create another
You can
advantage.
do that.
Hit the afterburners, which
Okay.
I'm assuming we have something like that,
I assume so. Yeah.
and basically try to create some backwash that'll make it harder for them to keep control of their ships.
That's how you make that pilot.
That's another 6.
Okay, so we got leaves on the wind and backwash all rolling up even before we get to your go. Red.
Okay, so the guy at 2, he's gonna need another round, right?
Yep.
Okay, but the ones at -2 are escaping
So,
now.
they're escaping now, but if you hit them, you can stop them. The
Yep.
ones that are 1 and 4 both have only one ship in their pair left.
Yeah,
Question though?
Yeah.
Can we use the push action to try and knock one of them off of landing trajectory?
I don't think so, because they're in the special zone, and that counts
Okay.
as a different maneuver area.
Fair enough.
well, in that case, I'm just gonna go and tail number 1.
Okay. So your shot with a +2. Pilot. Oh, finally,
Oh my goodness, that's a good one.
I have a 5.
Okay, what am I at right now? So right now I'm at a 2. I don't have any fate points left. I wouldn't manage to take one out if I burned 2 aspects, would I?
What that would do is that would take you to what?
What am I at now? Let's see. So right now I'm at a 2, though I do have an extra 2 with weapon
You would,
if I do get a hit.
if you spend both of those, you would take out their shields and do structural damage on it,
Yeah, but not take it
But
out.
but not take it out.
Yeah, that's a big spend for not taking them out.
So you'll drop down, do the wash by, but not tag it.
Didn't go in.
Blue.
Yeah, I'm going to hit the deck on an arbitrary undamaged one. Or I guess they're all undamaged.
So yeah, move yourself to whichever one you're going for, the number 4 there.
Number 4 it is.
Okay.
And we'll light him up. Yes.
Look at that. I've got a 4.
That's a good roll. I have a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And tell me if I have to
Take an invoke and you'll pop him out.
Yes, I will. I'll take the backwash.
Okay.
He gets held up for the critical moment, and down he goes.
Wiped away. He is done. So we mark that invoke. And that brings us to Zeus.
Ready. I'm actually gonna drop down on the tail of this guy right here,
Okay.
and so I'll give your one guy a good chance to shoot me down.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a gunnery roll.
Are you, which one are you firing on? 2, 3, 1? You can finish off the pair for 1.
Does it matter if we take?
No, it doesn't
better?
matter. I'm just,
Okay. All right, so I'll just drop down on.
it's
on
all
2.
aesthetics.
All right.
More demoralizing to break up the wingman pilot group.
I've got a 0.
So I get a 3.
Okay.
And I need 2 more to take him out, or?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to take. Do you still have 1 on leaves on the wind?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I'll tap that one.
So yeah, you'll blow one of them up. That about only half of that group survives to like hit their hard point for landing. So I'm going to remove them. We'll go ahead and take them off the table. But are your shields down, Harry?
Oh yeah. As I said, I'm dropping down just so you can give your guy a chance to shoot me.
Can
Okay.
I compel my aspect? We haven't done a compel of bringing back my squad alive and cutting that guy off so he has to take the shot at me.
Ooh. Did you do a full action drop down on their tail?
I did.
Then I think that you are going to regret doing that as you see your compatriot get shot up.
I did not do it on the tail. I just took a snapshot. Can I use wingman? Or
Yeah, you did
wiggleman?
snapshot. You didn't do a
Yes.
second action on that.
No.
Let me see what they say about doing that action thing. Yeah, I normally I would if we were doing straight RP, but this is kind of set up for a tactical thing. So I
Fair
think the
enough.
option is out here.
Okay.
On the other hand, you've seen me roll. So
That's-
so Harry, this versus your pilot. I've got a 5.
Okay, and I've got a 1, so I've got a 4.
Okay. There are invokes left. Do you want to invoke one of those?
Yeah, backwash.
Perfect. Essentially, it gets caught in that and doesn't get a chance to land that blow. Everybody slips. Did anybody tactical refocus on that last round? So basically everybody slips 1. So it's going to go again. This time, Caden, I will let you compel yourself and move to take that hit.
Yeah, I position myself to just take cover, or take cover fire for everybody else so they can get out.
And actually, I just realized, but we'll see what happens. They may not even get a chance to go. We will see, because Elsie, you will see the scenario that you mentioned before. This guy has your buddies in his sights. What do you do?
Let me look at my gunnery stat. I don't think it's that good. Yeah, looking at my gunnery stat, I'm gonna take a look at this, and I'm just gonna fly down hard on top of him and basically bang the bottom of my ship right into his cockpit.
I'm gonna make a sort of a GM offer compel here.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay. So I think we've established your Society of Friends as an aspect for you, and I want to kind of invoke that with the sort of the tough choice here, that I'll offer you a fate point if you take to essentially to take the shot. Otherwise, you can do the piloting, but I'm going to eat your fate point.
I'll offer you a fate point, not 2.
This is a false choice,
give
LC.
yourself- to give
We have
yourself
10 minutes
faith.
left in the
Let's
session.
resolve this. Let's resolve this
Fine.
thing, because we're kind of playing off your character choice there. What do you
understand.
think, Puckett? Take the shot or stay
damn it.
true and give me your fate point?
Take the fate point.
Okay. Let's have you roll gunnery.
No, I'm staying true. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I
So-
thought you were you're going to take the fate point. Oh, boo. I wanted to crush you. I wanted a dark side. Okay. Let's have a pilot versus pilot here. I've got a
That gives me +4.
+4, so 3. So that will pop his shields and leave his structure open. Do you want to spend the leaves on the wind to blow him up?
If it's okay, I want to spend leaves on the wind to make him bail out and watch the ship go basically careening. Because I mean, he's
Well,
an
it'll
admiral.
be doing the damage to him.
Okay.
Because right now, so do you want to spend to finish him off or not?
Don't do it, Elsie, says Katya over the radio. Better to let him go.
You know what? Katya's a role model,
Okay.
and Katya just said, "Let him go."
Then I think to play this out the right way is you hit him and you send him spinning off into Atmos somewhere, not taking the shots at your friends. And we'll sail off. Does that seem fair?
It does, and as part of that, I'll pass on the second half of my turn.
Okay. I think that's going to end the sequence here for the fight.
Okay.
Is that essentially as he will Vader spin off and away. And that's the point at which you realize, Elsie, that you're getting like a signal coming through your long distance scanner / comms. And here is what you will hear come over that. You'll hear, hello, anyone receiving this message? Hello, we were passengers on the North Star. We were taken hostage. We're here. They've got us mining. They're rigging explosives all around the mine. We need help. We need help. Anyone land, please help us out. Get us out of here.
And I'll just broadcast that to the rest of the squadron.
And pirate base is below you. They're calling for help. There's hostages there. You're the only ones that are close enough. And that's what we'll take up next time. Sound good? All right. I would like to do a quick stars and wishes if people wouldn't mind doing that. Harry, can I start with you? We'll do that same order we've been running through today.
Sure. Stars all around. I think it's a pretty good mission there. I liked it. I think Katya's moment with Elsie. I think everybody's moment with Elsie actually is kind of was the star of this episode, which I really enjoyed. And I did enjoy this tactical one. We didn't get a full success. We partially failed, which is drama. I like that. Wishing going forward, yeah, I can't wait to see what we do to rescue the hostages.
Absolutely. And Brandon?
Yeah, I liked the personal scenes very much. I also liked the setup with Whisper, and look forward to seeing what happens next there. The Starfighter thing was fine. I think this is a little hard on us. They did have us 3-1, 4-1, something like that.
4-1.
4-1. So the fact that a few of them got away is a disappointment. I grant you a grievous one, but you can't win them all. And hooray for the LC show.
Yeah, good stuff there. Definitely. Elsie.
Stars all around. I mean, Caden, I like this. Or Caden, Vince, I like the bit at the beginning with how you're reacting to ISB. You know, that sort of incredulousness, and yet knowing kind of what they expected you to do, and how you went about trying to prove them wrong. You know, the investigation. I mean, making it seem almost like you were like this wild-eyed, paranoid, sleep-deprived flight leader. And it's like, wait, you're supposed to be, are you okay? I really like that kind of, almost like a desperation that you brought to it. Harry, I really like the bit about taking apart the sensors and like trying to supercharge it and then getting lost, putting it all back together. That was absolutely delightful. Brandon, the scene with Whisper, I mean, particularly the way that you responded to how she was teaching people with that comm. Congratulations, you're dead, as is everybody else in your squadron. Get out of here, think about what you did wrong, and come back tomorrow. That was just, the way that you reacted to that was perfect. Yeah, and Lowell, as always, a lot of fun. I felt bad for how many roles you were having to do.
Oh my gosh. It's
And when you
terrible.
mentioned the deck of fate, and I was thinking about it, you didn't give me a chance. I was getting ready to pull mine out and try to help you out there, but you did.
Mine is it's like, it's literally, I can see it from here, but I would have had to like break it. I don't want to cut the momentum. So I'll definitely have that in front of me next time because it'd make it easier.
Absolutely. You did a lot of work today trying just to keep track of things and keep track of where all the aspects were and how many invokes and all the rolls and which ship was rolling and who was on whose tail. A lot of work there. A little bit almost crunchy.
It is a little crunchy. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't help but feel like you're prepping for your D&D run.
I know.
So, but
I hope not.
it was a lot of fun. So, you know, stars all around everybody.
And Vince, glad to have you back. Jump through you in the deep end here with Caden.
Yeah, no, I was really, really excited to be back, and very disappointed that I wasn't able to be here last week. I started a new job fairly recently. But like Puckett was saying, stars all around, but like a supernova to Puckett. Like really just fantastic stuff with Elsie that I think you set up such great stuff so early on that everybody else in the group was just like, I want a little piece of that. Which is, it's exciting. I know that might have been not what you had intended to basically be put in the spotlight for most of the session, but it was really, really nice getting to see kind of a deep dive into a specific character instead of just vignettes, which usually like this structure of just 4 sessions kind of requires. So I really, really love that.
Yeah, I want to say everybody's character moments tonight were a pleasure to watch, and when I was involved with them, were a pleasure to play. It was interesting, you know. It was good stuff. Like I felt like it was a good TV drama of the stories of these people. So I'm going to stop the recording, and then I have to say something about this.